one right now.
Hey, you guys, I got when we read, I got a Blue Lock agenda I need to push.
Yo, you're not about no. Hold on, time out. I'm gonna make something clear right now, Ty, right now. You get in line, pal. This not your thing. You're not gonna take this train and become the ambassador of Blue Lock. I've been pushing this shit since crack in the 80s. So I'm gonna let you know right now, you're gonna have to act right, okay?
What's my agenda, J-Rob? Do you know what I do?
I don't even know.
We don't trust you.
If we go in the Bakugo route, then I'm good on it. I'm good on it.
J-Rob, you're gonna like my agenda.
Okay, all right. As long as it's in bounds. As long as it's in bounds. Yeah,
don't disrespect Blue Lock, Ty.
Yeah, as long as
I'll jump through the screen, Ty.
Have y'all not been paying attention to what I've been saying about Blue Lock? I don't think why would I disrespect it for?
Okay. I had to wait. My bad. I'm hostile about Blue Lock because that is the one right there.
My agenda about Blue Lock is that Blue Lock is not as edgy and not as self-centered as I heard it to be. Now it does focus a lot about that, but I feel like Blue Lock, as far as like the story is showing us, that team is still equally as valuable as ego. Because a lot of the time those two things play into each other a lot. Like we've seen many cases where in clutch moments, the passing to a teammate or utilize your teammate was the best route. Even some of those more individual skills shining is because of someone else. So I think that the author does a really good job of highlighting the importance of utilizing yourself to be the best version of yourself for your team consistently. And I feel like that's what makes the idea of ego very nuanced and well written, in my opinion. But people only focus on the individual aspect of it. I feel like that's such a disservice. Like even with the Neo Egoist League, that's the problem now. Talk about how your side can go up based on the goals you score. However, if you focus too much on yourself, the other teams will think that you're just focused on you're like a good loser, for example. So it lets you know that I need to improve myself personally, but I still need to focus on my team and elevate us to wins so that I can get my rank up. So he does a really good job of balancing both. So really good.
I like it.
Just as how do you feel about Kaiser as, I guess you can say, the villain of the arc?
Are we deep in the mix now? You deep in the mix now, Riddell?
I'm not. I'm about to plug these ears right now.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, Riddell and Ty, I really got maybe one more Tuesday to go, fellas, before random. Because I'm with you. Let's talk about him.
I'm not Kaiser. We're watching, so I'm only like, look at like 20, 40 chapters, right? 20, 40.
Because you're 220, right?
Either,
You're around
right?
220.
Yeah, 220. I'll probably catch up like tomorrow.
How many chapters are there?
Like 240. I'm like 20 chapters.
Around 240.
Okay.
I'll be caught up like maybe tonight. But what I like about Kaiser, and it's kind of something that we see almost every match, is that there is a character that rivals Isagi that has a piece that he's missing. That's typically the route that we see consistently. I think is a good way to show how much Isagi has to learn. And it also really shows like how many skills you can really learn playing fucking soccer. I like, bro, I'm actually like locked in, bro.
Ty, I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. So I have two options right now, and I'm trusting you because I know you're big for both mangas as of right now. Mm-hmm. Should I read Blue Lock for the next week, or should I read the original Dragon Ball?
I would say I would say read.
Come on, bro.
No, I would say read Blue Lock.
Like, come on, bro.
Well,
I'm glad now you said the right answer, Todd, because you would have pissed me off even more if you would have said Dragon Ball.
Listen, just because I can appreciate the right Dragon Ball, don't mean that it's not like. Listen,
it's just Blue Lock is hot right now. This is what's hot on the streets right now.
That's why I said Blue Lock. Because I think, especially because I heard that I don't know the context of it. People were like, yo, you got to catch up because some crazy shit about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think
this match about to be a movie, Ty. This match that's coming up is about to be a movie. It's also going to be about 25 to 30 chapters long.
Wait a second. Reddit, where are you at?
The last place I ended with was Isagi beating Rin. I believe is where I ended when Isagi beat Rin.
You talking about in U20?
Is this before U20?
The back 12. Are you talking about the back heel? The back heel shot.
Because like Rin took what's his name that is great at passing, like the first friend that Isagi made.
He stole him,
And then
He's mad back, man.
Sagi ain't never beat Rin for real. I want you to know that.
That's why I was confused. I thought you meant like he beat him from the standpoint of
Yeah, I'm going to say
the 3v3 where he saw,
And he-
or not 3v3. It was like,
Oh yeah, so
what,
you're back at like
4v4?
season 1.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
seen you haven't even seen Blue
Can
Lock
I-
versus U20.
Ty, can I say something?
Nah,
Can
I
I
haven't.
Ty,
Damn.
Random, Lonnie, y'all all caught up, right?
Mhm.
I'm like 3 chapters behind right now.
Okay. Okay, bad. So then you're caught up enough to understand my question. I'll be honest though, I just hope that Arthur doesn't drag like, because Rin is gonna come into that game feeling like he got 2 L's on Isagi, because when he beat him in Blue Lock, he wasn't even feeling it, like the way he won, because obviously you remember this was the whole idea, like creating your own luck in soccer and things like that. Then obviously he scores the goal. I'm not going to say which goal, Riddell, but he scores a goal in the U20 match. Obviously, how big that was. He felt like he took an L in that regard. So I just hope they don't drag this idea that Ren is like he lost to Isagi 2 or 3 times, and them victories don't count. Because in Isagi mind, he feel like he been losing, bro. He don't feel like he has a 1-up on Ren. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only thing with like, and that's really just how they write it. That's my thing, how they write it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to feel like Ren is feeling like an underdog or something. I'd rather him feel like he got more to prove or something like that. I don't want to see no like underdog vibes, if that makes sense.
To be honest, J-Rob, I haven't missed Rin. I've enjoyed my time reading without him being there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like his I understand his backstory. His backstory with his brother really didn't move me, because his brother, I'm just gonna use this because I haven't watched Naruto, but it looked like his brother just had him in a genjutsu.
Facts.
That's all it really looked like. He just had his brother in a genjutsu. Like, was it Say just had him in a genjutsu the whole time?
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, like, if I'm reading that, I ain't never shot a soccer ball competitively in my life, and I could figure that out. Mm-hmm. And you over here making it seem like the world ending because he's like, hey, I went overseas. I realized I can't be a striker, but I'm gonna be the best midfielder. And then me and you go take it to the top. But Ren like, nah, we got to do it together. Like, that's what he's trying to tell you. That's what he's trying to tell you for real. So
I feel that.
I don't care so much about Ren. I care about the guy that's on his team. That evil, crazy mother
Shido.
I care about Shido, bro. I want to see what Shido got going on, bro.
Every time you see Shido, somebody's scrapping. It just turned.
I will say this though. I will say this.
That's a Lonnie character right there.
You know how like in Haikyuu they go pro, and so their teams get all mixed up with like different players. It's kind of dope because you get to see different, like these way different lineups. This is kind of fire. I would really love like when they go pro, Shido and Isagi team up would be a vibe.
He'd be like, bruh,
it'd be such a vibe.
It would be very interesting to see.
It would be such a vibe. Like if it's Isagi's dominating with Shido out there, I would have to give him hella flowers, bro. He would be OD.
How do you think the series ends? I was thinking about that today.
Oh, Japan wins the World Cup.
Did they keep?
Or it's like the U20 World Cup. They win the U20 World Cup, and then maybe they'll have like the best thing I think they should do is just have like, and then after that have like a movie where they go to the World Cup, and they play Julian Loki in France for the World Cup.
Mbappe? You mean Mbappe?
Yeah, Mbappe. Or they could do Michael Kaiser, but I think Julian Loki in France would be kind of more fire because, damn, Riddell, I'm sorry to tell you this, get in your scriptures, but Charles is OD. What Charles is doing with Shido and Ren, you know, Loki's an egoist too. He got Charles in there just
like their age too.
Yeah. Charles is 15. He's 15, like Lonnie. Reread that chapter. He's 15.
We're all just sitting there, like you said, Gerald. We're all waiting for that Nagi redemption.
I'm gonna say I'm like 20 chapters behind. I'm locking in tonight, bro.
Yo, Charles Kelly, bro. Ty, literally, this is why I will say too, and I love this dynamic, Ty. If you could talk about this in your place, this is pretty cool too. The teachers and how all their teachers for these teams have you ever noticed they all have their own agendas?
They do.
Mm-hmm.
And they're actually pretty crazy. Like, for example, Levino, he don't care about it at all. Actually, his whole thing is if you can't have any creativity, you ain't flourishing. So I don't got nothing for you. That's why Bachira is one of the only people who's really excelling with him, because they're all having to find their own creativity. That's why they're one of the worst teams in the whole joint. Chris Prince.
I like the Brazil aspect to him in the capoeira. Like he tries to put that into his style.
I just saw the one with because they're right where I'm at now. It's Isaga's team versus Barros, and he's trying his one thing I like about Blue Lock is that just when I feel like I'm getting, I get the overall miss obviously, but just when I feel like okay, this is where he's going with it, he adds another layer to it. I'm like, man, this dude, he be adding layers to their philosophy. I'm like, damn. It's always like a building block. And that's why I think like U20 was so tough, because like that last like luck piece of it, that was fire. That
was fire.
That panel where you see the final score, you see Isagi jumping.
With the piece.
Yeah, like when he at U20 where he pumped his fist.
Oh, yes, my God, yes, that's a magnificent panel.
Like
low key, Ty, I have a question, and then we can move on because we don't need to talk about Blue Lock. We can say Blue Lock.
Like he like scores, and then like you see like Nagi picking him up. I was like, yo, I was like, wow,
yo, that shit fire. So,
what happened to what was your question?
No, I was saying, Ty, is there any new gen MC that has as much character growth as Isagi? Because low key, the whole point of like Blue Lock story is for him to like just keep on growing.
So like, are you saying like, is there a new gen character or change more?
Can you say that again?
Yeah, you like
so. My bad. Are you saying there's a new gen character that's learned more or changed more?
I guess both, because like they're both like, because he is like kind of doing both at the same time. Like he is growing into more of that, like his ego is growing, but also his skill set is growing. So I'm just wondering, like, because when it comes to like just character development, I guess at this point, like I got him over Deku, I got him over Tanjiro, like I got him over Asta.
Isagi.
I mean, there are a few characters
that
are not maybe not mainstream shonen. Like there's a few seinen new gen, but if we're just talking about like this shonen word like we usually talk about, I would say probably the only character I think that has grown more is probably Denji, just because the way that Denji is like he's a caretaker now.
That's a good.
He's literally a proper caretaker now. Like that's actually insane. So maybe Denji, but I do think that with Isagi's growth, he learns something new every fucking match, every training step. Like he's constantly receiving information on how to be a better football player. So it's kind of like he has more on-screen time to learn more information. So from that perspective, I would probably say Isagi.
How this is the last question, because Lon, you were just talking about him as a character development. Where do you see Blue Lock, like if it finishes in a way that makes sense to everybody in the ending? If it's like a complete anime, where would it finish in like your all time? Like what do you think Blue Lock could go on all time at the pace that it's at right now?
Yeah, what's the ceiling, Ty?
So if we're talking about are you talking about like on my list or just like
honestly, it really anybody could take the floor, but I'm just asking because I think all of us hold it in such high regard. How far do you think it could be just because of the pace that it's going at? I don't want to just put it in I don't want to put it in just a sports anime. I want to put it in the whole realm. Like where does it fit in the whole realm? Because I do think one thing about sports anime and certain like slice of life and more niche anime, they don't get lumped in with like the top shonen stuff or the top like seinen stuff because of what the standards are for those anime. But I look at Blue Lock having the ability, there's certain sports anime that have made it, but I'm saying where do y'all think it may finish in terms of like just overall?
I think if you talk about overall, well, one, it's killing the manga sales scene right now.
There's a reason why it sold the most, Ty. There's a reason why it sold the most in Japan.
I bought 3 Blue Lock volumes yesterday. I bought volume 1, 3, and 4. And I'm a big fan now. So as far as like, it's one of the most hyped manga right now. I do think that once Blue Lock is finished, I don't know how long it's gonna go. I don't really know, but I do think it'll be reviewed as one of the greatest mangas of all time. Like there's plenty of sports manga. Like one of my favorite ones is Rikido, but no one really talks about it. It's not as successful as Blue Lock. Blue Lock will 100% be one of the most successful manga of all time. Like like it's doing like big 3 numbers like this. Like that's actually it's actually crazy.
Fire.
Well, I said it last week, J-Rob. if Blue Lock finishes off right, it's going to be the greatest sports anime of all time. It's going to take the throne. And mind you, obviously everybody has their own thing. Like people like Hajime no Ippo because people actually be boxing in that show, right? But Hajime no Ippo follows a very ironically, I haven't kept up. I lost track here. I haven't read it in a few months. But to me, every time I read it, it follows a very simple formula, right? Ippo gets his opponent, he trains, goes through a little bit of like whatever personal stuff he has to deal with. He fights. The fight's crazy. Every fight's crazy. He wins, and like he wins most of the time, but then the times that he loses, obviously, and then you just start the whole thing over again. Blue Lock has this constant ability of like it's like Ty said, every goddamn match, it's something new. Like once he finishes the borrow one, I want to talk to Ty again once he finishes that one, because it's not just the fact that it always feels like it's constantly changing. A new character takes the stage. A new character besides Isagi takes the stage, and that person gets their chance to shine. So I just think maybe the only thing that might hurt it is the anime, because a lot of people had problem with the CGI in the anime.
Oh, bro, they about to have so much money now, King.
Yeah, so
threw me
a
off
lot
a
of people
little bit,
said,
not gonna lie.
So they said the anime was not supported by the studio the way it should have, because
they
of
got a lot of money now, brother.
So I'm sitting there like, throw the money in there real tight, but also you're watching a sports anime. Like unless you really want them to do that stuff by hand, like you're gonna get some CGI. So I just think it's gonna be great, man. It's gonna be great.
I don't really buy that, but I do think that the Blue Lock anime will be even better moving forward, especially since if they get a movie animation quality is always top tier.
Facts.
Right? So with that said, I mean, I'll say this. First thing for my agenda, I did watch an anime recently. I'll talk about that in a second, but I've been sold, ladies and gentlemen. I've been sold. I am going to catch up to Blue Lock by next week. 240-ish chapters. I'm going to catch up. And I guess the only question is next week a Blue Lock episode? Is it time for a Blue Lock episode? Now, there's two ways we can go about that. We can go back the character route, or we can go back sports series tournament bracket. So that
I'd say I want to do characters. I think we should do a tier maker for that.
You don't want me to get my sports anime bag. It'll get nasty.
Yeah, I think we should do how we did JJK with the characters.
You guys kind of say it's one.
Oh, you do a ranking?
Do you want to? Oh, that's what. Well, yeah. I mean, I just like how we did that. I think that was a pretty dope concept.
Anime?
Well, we want to do sports anime. We could do a sports anime show.
Well, next one. So if we're doing Blue Lock, we do characters. We could. I mean, we could do like, I don't know how many like important characters are. What over
hella,
right?
Hella characters, man. Like we're just getting a look at some of the best strikers in the world and the captains, and there's more out there.
Wait, I said something real quick about Blue Lock real quick. I got two things to say real quick. We can move after this, but one, I want to give the writer a lot of props, because one thing he does so well is balancing characters, bro. Like having it's so hard to write like a scene with like multiple characters. This dude really be writing 11 on 11 scenes, and everyone feels almost equally involved. Like that to me is a writing feat that he does consistently. He's a great job at that. And also, bro, I was just looking at, because we were talking about the success of Blue Lock. Blue Lock, Hajime no Ippo came out in the 80s. It has 100 million manga sales. Blue Lock came out in 2013, has 30 million, and it sold 10 million last year. So if it goes on, I believe it's gonna pass Hajime no Ippo. Like I just believe.
You think it's gonna pass 100 mil? It depends on how long the series is. I'm be honest.
It's passing 100 milli, bro.
But here's the thing.
You also think like movie sales and stuff like that, like it like helps skyrocket manga sales and stuff.
Skyrocket, I agree.
All I'm gonna say is this: wait till them clips get to the internet from these movies and these new episodes. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
wait till these clips get to the internet, gang. That's how it happens.
I feel like it depends on a lot of things, but like one thing that anime now, like it's like this is a perfect time for, like, for example, JJK Volume 25 that had Gojo and Sukuna fight, that had in 1 week, it sold millions in 1 week. Like manga is not the same as it used to be, bro. Like it's a whole different wave. So I feel like Blue Lock selling a 10th of Hajime no Ippo in 1 year, that is, bro. Give it
possible.
Like Demon Slayer is in the top 10 with only like 200 chapters.
Shout out to Demon Slayer.
No, I mean, I definitely think it's possible. I'm not gonna deny, and especially if it's way longer than we expect, because a sports series can be pretty decently long. For the most part, you already said it's 240 chapters. Do y'all think it's ending anytime soon?
No, like
I ain't gonna lie. With the money and pace, why would it?
So if it
Like,
hits like
I don't even Riddell, there's not even a
350s,
way for them to get to the
400.
U20.
To me, they gotta. To me, we gotta get at least. We don't gotta get the World. The World Cup could be a movie, but I'm not gonna lie. We need at least a time skip to a Champions League arc. Like we need these boys in the pros. We gotta get at least a little bit of pro action with these boys. I can't be satisfied. Is all we get if the pinnacle. I will say this: for the pinnacle of Blue Lock is winning the U20 World Cup and just having ignited this new generation. That's the goal. That's it. That's all we get. I mean, it'll still do numbers. It'll be really good, but I'll be a little disappointed because I need to see these boys. I need to see a bear munching Isagi on the real team, on the senior team, playing in the Champions League against Ren at PXG and Julian Loki for a Champions League's title, bro. And then you give us the World Cup movie. That's what we need.
I feel like it has to do that. If this
has to.
The point of the story is become the world's best striker when we have to see them against the world. Like,
Thank you.
I honestly, J-Rob, I would argue that would probably be bad writing if you don't see that, because if the point is to do that, you would have to show us them doing that.
Yeah.
No, I definitely agree. I mean, right from the beginning, the whole point of this whole thing is to make Japan the best.
Yeah.
So
I think we're 100% getting that arc, and that's gonna be tough
too.
Well, at the start of the Egoist League, J-Rob, wasn't they say it was like a few months before the U20?
These guys all have offers to pro teams. They all have offers to pro teams. I agree. Like Ty just said, this is about the best in the world, and Riddell's mentioned that too. Like it's important, I think, for the fan base to see Isagi reach this goal of #1 striker in the world. I think especially because of the genesis of who he was as a person. Remember, this is the guy who was passing up stuff because he was on his team player, low self-esteem, and he has molded himself into who he is now. So it's like, I think we all deserve that. And the Champions League thing could be a time skip. It don't gotta be a whole, we gotta go through a training arc and that. It could be a time skip. I think the fans will be very okay with that. It's still a sports anime. We know they have to go to practice.
Yeah. One thing I will say for me real quick for my agenda is I am going to
Do we get Lonnie to say his stuff before you go, Riddell?
What
did you want to say anything? Because I know we all waxed poetically, but did you say something?
Oh no, I had like a small agenda or something small to say that wasn't Blue Lock related, but you can go first.
My bad.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, for the most part, if I got the time, I'll try to check out a new series or whatever. It just seems like this next week will be a very much a grind, of course, to catch up to Blue Lock and see the greatness that is that. I'm thinking whether or not I want to finish what I've seen in the anime first before I start reading the manga. I'm gonna contemplate that on my own, of course.